I'm Avi. I'm one of the co-founders of Watershed. It's nice to meet you all. So Watershed is the enterprise climate platform. When we started the company, we started with a mission of reducing 500 megatons of carbon by 2030. To quantify that, that's solving 1% of the climate problem by 2030. That's kind of where we're headed. The three of us started this company after seeing the problem at Stripe. One of my co-founders, Christian, helped start Stripe's climate program. And he saw that it was all consultants and spreadsheets and not much action. It was really hard to get anything done and figure out what was going on with that kind of data. So at this point, 3 years in, we power the climate programs of some of the world's leading companies. And we already manage more than 35 million tons of carbon, more than Denmark. We're trying to catch up to Sweden next. So I've told you a little bit about being an enterprise climate platform. That's a word that probably means nothing to most of you. So what we're going to do is dive into the layers, and I've put in a Loom video of the actual product to get super concrete. It's a risk. We'll see if it works. So what we help companies do is measure, report, and act. And so what that looks like is taking all their disparate data and pulling it into one central place where they can use that to calculate their carbon footprint and figure out what to do about it. We help them prioritize their actions. We help them automate their reports and be able to kind of do the things they need to do with a click of a button. Once they've done that, the most important thing is to actually act. I showed you that number, 500 megatons. We're not going to get to that without doing reductions. And so they use Watershed as a place to figure out what to act on, how to act on it. And then when they need to purchase things to help with decarbonization, they can also use Watershed to do that. All right, that was still too high level, so we're going to get into the details. This is the measurement part of Watershed, where you can see folks being able to ingest data from any part of their world in kind of multiple different formats. The goal here is to make this as easy as possible so you can pull the information in without too much work. We don't want you to spend time here because it's honestly a waste of time to do all this work. We want you to be able to act and reduce. Once you pull in your data, you get a footprint that's easy to use to understand what's going on. We pull in benchmarks to help you understand how you compare. And then we give it to you in a nicely sliceable way. The underlying questions of how this is calculated are all shown to you because that's the first thing that happens when you bring this to another team. They ask you, hey, how did you get to that number? Can you explain to me what this means and how we can change it? Once you have that, the thing you need to do is make a commitment or a plan. What often happens is people ask for this. Think investors or others, what's your goal? What's your target? If you want to work with the UK government, they actually require a net zero plan. This helps you set that plan and track it. Now we've got the marketplace, which helps you buy decarbonization technology. It helps you buy clean power. It helps you kind of negate the pieces that you can't reduce and act on. And then finally, the reporting. The goal here is to show you that it's quick and easy to do one click. Oh no, I might have clicked forward. Okay, and I just want to tell you a story of one specific customer and how all the work we do translates into action. And this is the story of Sweetgreen, one of our earliest customers. So Sweetgreen showed up on Watershed. They were able to pull in their data and understand there was two things that were driving the majority of their reductions: chicken and cheese. Sweetgreen can't get rid of chicken and cheese. You want that in your salads. And so what they figured out they needed to do is actually engage their suppliers to figure out what is the right chicken and cheese to buy. Because it turns out not all chicken and cheese is created equal. And so what they did is use Watershed supplier engagement product to send out a survey to these folks. And the way we do this is we kind of build tools that let you measure the specific emissions of industries with a few questions. You don't have to do a full measurement. You can kind of you ask the key important things. And one of those key important questions for the cheese suppliers is, do you have a methane digester? Turns out that's very important, but it's something that every farmer can answer. Once they got the answers for the results of that survey, what they were actually able to do is over the next year, change their procurement strategy and buy their chicken and cheese from slightly different vendors and reduce their footprint. This is important because it actually sends a signal through the corporate network and tells people that you're going to be rewarded for doing the right thing on carbon. And this applies to Sweetgreen. This actually applies to Walmart, who's doing this with what they call Project Gigaton, where they're committed to removing 1 gigaton of carbon from the atmosphere by working through their suppliers. This is something that's coming to every company as they get pushed from the top down. So that was Watershed in 4 minutes, or however long we had, 5 minutes. All right, I'm a little over time. We're hiring across everything. I think the key thing for you to know is that the climate market is unparalleled. It's something we've never seen before. You should come join now if you want to work on climate. Don't hesitate, jump.